What's going on, everybody? This is round two as we try and get this core conversations going. I'm not sure what's going on the live, but we'll try it again. And we are doing a freestyle today. I have some topics to touch on and some things to do. So thanks for joining us today. We're going every day live at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. That's how we do. So having talking points off of a friend of mine's chat this morning. So I would love for you to join us. Hey, Shannon. Shannon, I feel like when you join me, I need to do an update on how the campaign's going and a show and tell from the weekend once again. So many things that we did. Maybe we'll do that. What else? It's craziness. It's all good. Girl, I was all over the place this weekend. So many things going on. It was fun. Don't get me wrong. It was definitely fun. I'll share all that in a moment. Yes. Lots of stuff going on this weekend. Is it Pilates on tour this weekend? Anybody know? If you have any online classes, workshops, workouts, that sort of thing, please put it in the chat. And we want to just continue to support, amplify, and connect. As Jenna Zaffino says, I've used that for all my campaign stuff. That's such a key word. So I think it's time to revisit that one more time. So yeah, supplies and stuff. So I think my friends are in Chicago this week. I wish I could be there. I think that when this campaign is done, I'm just gonna go travel everywhere and just connect with people, make it like quarterly, just unplug from doing city council stuff and plug back in so many different ways. Because it's been quite the grind. Quite the adventure, loving it, loving the excitement of it, loving learning, and just being out there on the edge every day. So it's been good. I'm really enjoying it. Really, really good. Very excited and humbled by the number of people who have come alongside me in this journey as well, right? So let's do our little show and tell. This is what I got to this weekend. We'll start it with the Rib Fest. Didn't get a chance to go back to Rib Fest. It's so crazy how this was going on. And that was all weekend long. So I went there Friday afternoon. Spent some time, had some colleagues who have been like really, really key players on my team who were there. So I just learned from them, just sat under some really, really wise people and learned a lot about this campaigning thing. So getting so many techniques and strategies from them. And so while I was there, I'm gonna show you some pictures of my car because I got there early enough to do an early morning shot. So that's my guy, right in front of the Rib Fest. Hi, Carrie Miller. We're just doing a little show and tell how my weekend went. So that was the last Rib Fest this weekend, and I have the very similar picture from a few weeks ago. Sorry, from the last one when it was a drive-through. There. First time. You know what's funny? This is akin to a person who likes to show everyone pictures of their dog or their pet. And Tammy can appreciate the whole sense of having something that is an emotional outlet, a source of joy, something that is a self-care. It fuels my creativity. It does. It gives me, you know what I did? I was able, on Monday of last week, this is why this comes up. And I see Augie Doggy just joined us as well. So Carrie, this is why this comes up. Last Monday, we were talking about going into the week, starting strong, and how it was all about trusting the process, diving deep on things, just embracing who you are, what you're called to do, all those different things. Yes, Accra. So we did all that. We talked about that on Monday with Piercy. We went through the week, and I was saying how life is getting so busy that when things were clear, my head was clear and I had some time, I said on Fridays between 1 and 4, I am not doing anything. I'm going to just journal, read, restore. Your work is only as good as your rest. Carve out that time. Trust that if you pull away, that you'll find a place of productivity that was greater than if you just plowed through that time. So that was the Monday conversation. So Friday came, and the temptation was to work all the way through the weekend again. But instead, I got out in the car, went for a drive, went to a forest, sat on a bench, slept outside for like 20 minutes, went back, did my thing, and just got to unplug and reconnect. When was the last time you did that? I keep preaching this because I know my life's going 100 miles an hour and everyone else's life is going just as fast. Carrie's saying, I just finished Your Artist Way by Julia Cameron. Yeah, that must be a good book. I'm sure it will speak to me in many ways. So anyway, so that's it. So this is like proof that, actual proof that I did the thing that I'm talking about, right? So that was it. An artist date, I think. Yeah, no, exactly. And I think we talked about that, a date with yourself, right? So there you go. There's my proof. I took my car out first thing in the morning so I'd have it for the day. As soon as I was done here, I just took off, did my thing, unplugged, and that ties into the next picture. And Carrie, actually, if you want to join me on screen, I'll show this picture real quick, but this is a parenting thing. I had to, where's the picture? So I did my time of just unplugging, got home, and I geared up to go and do some canvassing and some stuff for the campaign. And my son comes up to me and he's like, can you help me with my project? And my other son was not feeling too hot. And so he was feeling a little bit under the weather. So I'm here trying to win my ward in the city council. I said city and it thought I said Siri, so it shut me off here. Yeah, so I'm trying to do all these things, and then, oh yeah, I'm a parent. One guy's not feeling too hot. The other guy has a project due, and I'm supposed to be out canvassing, knocking on doors. Hi, Sunny. What do? Do you trust that if you actually put your parent cape on, that you're still going to get everything else done? Or do you say, okay, you guys will be fine, you're teenagers? No, you got to step up. I had a great time hanging out with my older son who had to do these projects, and he's kind of low key, so I'm not going to expose him too much, no pun intended. But we had to do a bunch of pictures, and we had to go and take some pictures at dusk. He had to, for his assignment, he had to take pictures around a certain time of day. And so he needed the car, needed the sun in a certain angle, had to do certain things from certain angles, and that's him taking pictures of me doing random things like throwing a ball up in the air or whatever. He needed all these specific shots. So we had some fun, and it legit consumed my whole evening. I loved every moment of it. Because we could only go out for so long. There's another picture of him. So that prime time canvassing, door knocking hours, I can't wait for you guys to see this picture. This picture he was so excited about just because the sun was in the right spot. I don't understand it. It was actually such a good, cool shot that some stranger was walking by and I asked him to take a picture of Aaron taking that picture just so he could capture it because like it was so cool. It was good. It was super fun to be able to do that, and we ended up just watching Marvel movies and just doing our thing afterwards. So it was pretty cool. Check out my IG live my IG afterwards. I'm gonna put some of the pictures up. I'll probably do a bit of a photo dump for you guys to see some of the pictures that actually and how they actually turned out because they're amazing. He did such a good job with it. So that was my Friday. Marvel movies, photo ops, and sitting down outside. So that was Friday. Then on Saturday, Shannon, we had the open house. Yes, Elon, how are you? So on Saturday, we did the open house for Meadowville Theater. Now, this was one of those events where, as someone who's running for city council, you're not allowed to campaign on city property. So I had a chance to literally just go and be. I wasn't trying to be low-key, whatever, just go and enjoy a beautiful new facility here in Meadowville. So we got this facility here, and once again, the show and tell continues because this is so important for our area to have like an amazing theater, get people connected to it. So check out these shots of this epic facility. So we did that. So that's the exterior. But this is the one I'll show you a video of. So, sorry about all the noise in the background, but let me talk over this. So I have, there's a few months ago, if you guys follow, there's an artist, a First Nations, Two-Spirit, Indigenous artist named Jay Havens. We're talking all about inclusion and diversity and all these things, and it was a hot topic for a minute, and I feel like it's fizzled out a lot. But at the peak of it, they were designing the Meadowville Theater. And while they're designing the Meadowville Theater, they have this big bulkhead where they were going to put a painting. So they brought in all these artists to compete. And by unanimous decision, by like number 2 was nowhere close to this design that Jay Havens has done in the past. So he sat down with the community and asked us, what do you want to see on a mural? So people like me who've lived in this area, who understand just the importance of representation, and people who are really passionate about their community were out in droves in these online communications, see the wheelchair, see the First Nation people, see the young people dancing, playing modern instruments, ancient instruments, saxophone. Notice the cell phone coming into the picture on the left side. You'll see it as I was walking through here. Right about there. So fun. So Jay Havens did this amazing installation, and I have this great sense of pride in my community because like I contributed to this. Those who live in the area got a chance to contribute and say, like, it needs this. It needs to be represented. We need to have every people group that lives in the area there. Have the water, looking at the Indigenous First Nations origins of this space. Oh man, I'd love to get a still image of that too. Like there's I think I took a quick picture of it. I'm sure it's on this page too. So it's Jay Havens. I think here, let me Jay. I believe that's it. Everybody. So that's the piece. That's the interior of it. So I was like blown away. I was so proud, like just enamored with it. I like the other piece that I showed you in Thomas Street. There's two absolutely epic pieces of artwork in Ward 9 that I can't stop staring at. So there. And for all the oohs and ahs, I'll give you a picture of Alex and I. So there you go. So we went to that. I was going to just roll in by myself, and Alex was like, I'm coming with you. So like, sweet. So that was our afternoon. And then we knocked on doors for the rest of the day. Isn't that a great picture? Isn't she like so fine? Show and tell, party people. There's Pat Sato, that is the city councilor who is endorsing me. So she's a legend, and she has been working so tirelessly for 31 years, and she is the one who has been mentoring me and setting me up for success in this world. So I got to put the grind on and make sure that I do my best on the back end to be able to get this W. So that's where we're at with that. What happened next? So on Saturday, crazy. So that was Saturday. Canvas did the thing, and then on Sunday we did an impromptu meet and greet. So then we're out at a local grocery store. We got our Tim's, we got our Starbucks. We got our Smile cookies. Tim Hortons Smile cookies, dollar cookies going to cancer research. So we did all the things, got all these things set up, and we did thanks, Carrie. And then we just hung out in the area and talked to people. So many things that were going on this weekend. Sharing all these things to say that I came in here this morning and just want to do this. Just get in and move. Thank you, Stefan. Get it. I'm going to talk over this for a minute. I find that, I don't know how many of you are like this, but the busier I get, the more locked in I get with my own practices. Prayer, journals, movement, lifting. If something's going to lock off, I feel like I need to get back into the other things that give me energy. Like movement. So, what's going on, Travis? I can't tell you how excited I was to just get into the studio this morning and move. And to actually just stop doing the whole popularity contest and connections with people for a moment, just to breathe, to get back to this, and to find that place of comfort with you all. I woke up to watching some of my friends do their talks, Instagram Live, and a friend of mine, Lisa Chang, was talking about confidence. Pause, hold that thought for a second. Does anyone want to join me on screen? Travis, I haven't talked to you in a while. There's some people here, even Stefan, we talk all the time. I'd love to have you on to talk through something that happened. I put a blog up about it. But it's always fun to have, instead of talk to a screen, to just have someone in here. True dedication to the community, Shannon says. Thank you so much. Seed for Greatness, so proud of you, Martin. Thank you. Um, yeah, thank you. We all have our thing. We all have our lane. And I think all of us that would take time to sit here and just listen and learn are doing your lane really, really, really well. I shared this in a vlog the other day, actually just last night. I was talking with a gentleman while we were at Freshco, and he was, doing his due diligence, researching all the candidates, checking out, all the things that they talk about. And one of the guys that came and talked to me was saying, I like what you're doing, but I think you're just a little too soft, too warm and fuzzy, too soft. And I heard him talk about it. I heard him talk about other candidates and their approach to things. And I learned enough through the years to know that I don't have to try and please anybody. I don't have to try and appease anybody by trying to get the right answers for them. So this guy was asking me questions. And Brooke B. Tyler, how are you? Give me a thumbs up if you're free, want to join me on screen as I share this story. So it was interesting how as he was talking through these things and he was saying you're too soft, and he talked about nice, exactly. Even before I finish the story, so Going More Joe says exactly, you cannot pay your bills with other people's opinions. See if it yes, be yourself. And hey, okay, this is. To say be yourself, to say you cannot pay your bills with other people's opinions, to say all these things are so true. And I think all of us are grounded enough in who we are that we can do it. But it's still a test when it presents itself. I think that's the point I'm getting to right now, is that it is still a test. Every time that comes up, we're not immune to the test of that said thing. Even though you pass the test 100% of the time, it's still a test. And then the test presents itself in a different fashion every single time. So sometimes it's super obvious and you're like, not doing that. And there's other times when you're like, oh, I just gave a little bit of myself away there. No, let me pull that back. So it's so funny how we go through that. And so this guy started to, yes, no, it's true. It's true, Sonny. It is totally one of those things. Clarissa, what's going on, my traveling friend? Here, Brooke, I'm going to bring you on. I'm not sure if you're free. Yeah. I love this stuff. Like, I mean, like, I just had fun. Yeah, we're good. Nova Scotia got hit. Ontario's fine. Ontario's like a little pocket of like immunity. We never get hit with anything. I don't speak too soon, but it's good. I think this is down. Something's up with my my live today. It's like glitchy or something. I'm gonna send an invite to you again, Brooke. I hope your family's okay in Nova Scotia. Okay, she's on Nova Scotia. Oh, good. All right, I'll finish the story. Continue to just share your chat in the conversation in the comment section below. It's all good. So I said to this guy, so he's firing off questions to me, and I am now at a point where I recognize when people actually don't want to answer, they're just trying to pin me down with the question. So I threw it back at him, asked him a couple questions, wanted to hear what he had to say, and he really wasn't saying anything. I recognize that this is a bit more of an antagonistic conversation, especially when he said I was too soft. When Okay, cool. Yeah, you can jump on after. You just listen to what I'm saying, and then you can chime in after. So after he left, and he dropped some like racist comments, dropped some woke comments, dropped a bunch of stuff, and that's fine. He could do his thing. My wife's mouth was agape, and my volunteer also was agape of the things he was saying, because it's just like, this guy's not too much. But finally, getting to my point here. I talked about this months and months ago, and this guy used the context of being a man, but I'm interchangeably using it to talk about being a leader. He was asked, this gentleman and this leader was asked, what does it mean to be a man? What does it mean to be a leader? Do I need to be fierce, or do I need to be gentle? And after a moment of pause, the response was, I don't know what it means to be a good leader, but this is what it means to be a great leader, to be a great man, to be a great person. When it's time to be fierce, nobody messes with you, right? Get it? Like, they just don't mess with you because you're that fierce. No one wants to touch you. But when it's time to be gentle, you're not gentle. You're very, very gentle. And the wisdom of that is understanding what is required of you in every situation. So when this gentleman is looking at my post and saying, that's too soft, you're too gentle, someone else came by and is like, well, is there any fiscal underpinnings to anything you're presenting? All those things come back to understanding that what my community needs, much like you in the Pilates industry, in your studio with someone who walks in with an injury, you have to recognize who you need to be for this person within the context of who you are. Do you push them to a workout? Do you let them sit down and talk about what's going on? Wisdom is the answer, not the way that you present. So it's saying there's a wisdom in presenting in a way that pulls people in a wounded community that's seen different things happening. An injured person who walks into your studio, you can't just come hard at them. You got to meet them where they're at. There's wisdom in meeting people where they're at. So if you look at me for 5 seconds and make a judgment call, you don't know me. I don't have to accommodate you based on what you see of me, because I am wise and I'm walking in that wisdom. So are you. I just want to throw that out there just to encourage you to just walk in the wisdom of who you are. Step into your own power and flow from that place instead of trying to accommodate people at every turn. We're wise enough to do that, but it presents itself in different ways. A stranger walking up to me saying, I'm about to vote for you, but I saw this and I thought that this of you. I could be like, yeah, well, we're gonna be tough on crime. We're gonna do this. No, that's not. I'm not gonna change my being to accommodate you. You conform to me. I influence you. I'm the leader. Okay, so now I got that off my chest. Watch the vlog. I'll put the link to the vlog. I unpack it a little bit more. But in all the things that we do, I hope that all of you could just rise up and never feel like you have to be someone else to get where you need to be. Brooke, if you want to give me a thumbs up, if you want to join me. Hey, awesome. I'm going to bring on Stefan as well. I don't know if that worked. All right. Brooke's coming in as well. Yes, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning. I'm going to bring on Brooke as well. So,
Sweet. Yeah, man. I was. You just have to just laugh, right? Like, hi, my friend.
Hi.
Hey,
Have
Yeah.
you met Stefan Seed for Greatness? We've done
um,
this before. That's right. We talked about the gear. Remember
yeah,
back in the day?
Oh, do it. Did we all three of us?
Yes. Remember we were talking about like what you like to work out, and he asked you the question about what you like to work out
Oh,
in.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Yes. So you guys got to hear me vent
Yeah, good
with this
job. Good
dude
vent.
who people are really interesting, right? And I'm not gonna knock him, but like you see, there's a difference between someone who authentically wants an answer and someone who is just pushing buttons.
Right.
mm,
You know, and it's like if someone was to walk into your studio back in the day, Brooke, and just like look around and be like, "How much does that cost?" You know what I'm saying? And you're just like, you're not interested in value right now. You're just trying to haggle for haggle's sake without understanding the value. I think that this is the same thing this guy was doing. Right? You're not even trying interested in what my value is. You're just trying to get a price there. You're just trying to get an answer or get the push for something, right? So it was an interesting exchange.
Yeah, and I think that so you felt like you ended up in a position where you had to defend yourself or
No, I just listened to
explain
him.
yourself.
Yeah, I didn't even try to in that moment. I
Yeah.
really just wanted to understand where he was coming from and what was he looking for? When people start to do that, and it's like, well, basically I'm saying like, what answer do you want to hear?
Yeah.
What answer are you looking for? I'm not going to give it to you, but I'm curious to see what your intent is right now.
Because then it sounds like it wasn't about you anyway.
Nope, not
Uh,
for a second.
yeah.
yeah. I like what you said about the test, Martin, about being uh, listening to his uh, words and tone and intent, and even though you pass these tests, you know, like several hundred times, it it still is a challenge each time you go through it because you're like, all right, I even if it's again like a little uncomfortable, but you've been through it. It's just like you know what you got to do, but now you got to go through it. You got to go through it,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
so yeah, I think what you're doing and what anybody's doing that's big and bigger than themselves when they're going to serve people, I mean, you're gonna get tested.
Mm-hmm.
You like almost have to get tested because that's part of your building up into your
Yep,
position.
yep, yep.
Yeah. If
Absolutely.
you put yourself out there, then you're going to be a little bit of a lightning rod, right? It's hard.
Yeah.
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 Well, those are the things that maybe it's just the season I'm in, but I'm like, I look at it like this is an opportunity for me to get better. Like you have that many eyes on you. There's an opportunity to refine your character, refine your presentation, refine your sales pitch, refine your brand, refine who you are and who you are to the people around you.
Yeah. Brooke, what do you think about that?
I'm just over here stretching.
Yeah, no, eh?
I know I'm checking you out.
It makes me want to
Uh,
just like do the same thing. Just
I
like,
almost did the test, like,
yeah.
Yeah, you get on the floor, go over here.
Hmm.
I will say I have switched a little bit away from that sort of place of being like a leader or having lots of eyes on me into everything getting much simpler.
Yes.
And it feels great.
I can imagine.
Just less.
Hmm.
But yeah, you're just that not going to be able to please people.
Yep.
And when you said about the fierce and the gentle, I think there's just got to be both at the same time.
yeah.
Why not? It doesn't have to be one or the
Hmm.
other. And I
Hmm.
think that gentle and that softness can be just are you allowed to say bad words on here?
Yep.
Like where the fierce can be unfuckwithable, so can that
Yeah.
gentle kindness, that is just as unfuckwithable too,
Yep.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, it's
Yeah.
getting you to the same place. I mean, I think that's the wisdom. Like the point is that they're both going to get you to that same place. It's just the wisdom to know how to navigate, how to maneuver at every point, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So
But I like what you mentioned about having both, um, because the gentle attracts so many different people. You know, the gentle is like, people don't understand like how strong you have to be gentle, because
Mm-hmm.
what's happening is people are coming at you, throwing all these darts and, you know, throwing all these knives and stuff at you. You're sticking, you're moving, you're whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yep.
But then you have to be strong enough to not change within. And so
Mm-hmm.
whenever you see a leader that's, you know, humble and, you know, sensitive, I always pay close attention, because I'm like, first of all, I know what they had to do to get there is not easy. And
Mm-hmm.
secondly, they didn't change. They stuck to who they are. So
Yes.
being, you know, gentle is a very, very powerful thing, and you attract more people being gentle, loyal people than fierce.
Yeah, I think it means
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
you're coming from like a more of a place of knowing.
Yes, I mean, and it's almost like that knowing. Well, knowledge is power, right? There's a sense of power when I can exercise that self restraint. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's a cheap gift to be able to snap on people and fire off text messages to every person. Like anyone can do that. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know,
yeah.
seeing lots of hearts in the chat there. You guys are making
Plus,
good points.
plus people run on emotions so much that I find myself going like, okay, you know, whenever I get in a situation and someone's just heated, like fired up, hot, I go like, okay, well, I'm not in that same place. I got a lot going on, so I don't want to be pulled that way.
Mm-hmm.
Let me let me wait. Let me wait and see when that train comes back down,
Yes.
because I find that's how people run. They run real hot sometimes, and then they run real cold. And you, as a leader, no one's gonna understand you because you're thinking of a big picture all the time.
Right.
Every move you make, every conversation you have is about the goal, the project, the
Yep.
campaign. So no one's gonna understand why you do things the way you do, but you have to be the one that's, hey, no problem. Okay, we
Yep.
only have $10 to run this campaign. Perfect. We're gonna go out and raise 100,000. What?
Yeah.
Yeah, this
Big
is
vision
what we
stuff.
gotta do.
Yeah.
You know.
Yes. Brooke, I'm just watching you move, man. I feel like I need to, like, my 11
I
o'clock
know. Get
client
on the
just,
floor. Just get on the floor. That's
my
the floor.
client just canceled. I'm like, man, I need to
I
just,
know. Yeah, I have a gap right now between my online. So that's why I just got on my electric chair so I can get warm, and now I can do that.
yes. All right.
Oh
So,
yeah, catch it over.
as we're talking, so yeah. So, Brooke, what's going on now? What are you up to?
Me?
Yes. What's going on business wise? How are things going for you?
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still kind of a place in between.
Nice.
I have more work online, more teaching teachers. I love
Oh,
teaching
amazing.
teachers online, and then I feel like I can be working with people all over. You know, I like the online, surprisingly. And then and I can be anywhere in the world in a second, and that is really cool.
So, what about like your acupuncture and Chinese medicine and that whole component of what you do?
Yeah, check this out. Which and I totally manifested this shit. I knew. I am now renting rooms back from the studio I just sold.
There you go.
I know. So
With
I just set
minimal
up so I
overhead.
can
That's
do
the freedom.
yeah, I just set up so I can do acupuncture in there. So I'm renting 2 rooms, and I took some Pilates equipment out of storage so I can do privates and duets.
Yeah.
And they basically the building's just sitting there empty. So right now it's just me in there.
Oh boy. Yeah. Oh, that's
And
like a W for sure.
totally,
Woo-hoo.
right? And it's just not my overhead. So
Right.
So that's good because I love the in-person. I have online classes. I reduced, I was doing 5 online classes a week, and now I'm just down to 2 on Friday, a mat and a 1-to-chair.
Nice.
And although I miss having more than 1 mat in a week, and I know clients do too, because you can spread it out, it is better energetically. It just is, it's a lot. The online classes are a lot, and I did a lot for a long time. So I have more WNBA players. That's been fun. I went out. I got to see Sue play one more game. You like my Sue shirt?
What?
Let me see. I took too far.
Can you see? So I got to go. I got to go see Sylvia Fowles play her last game in Minneapolis, and then I was able to go to a playoff game in Seattle.
Yeah.
Wow.
A new WNBA player through Achilles. God, there's just so many Achilles ruptures, right? And so Pilates is so good.
Yes.
Which is really, it's so interesting, how much you can do a whole mat, and, because of the surgery and then you have to do the whole thing and never let that foot touch down.
Yes.
But we can do all sorts of, we can flip here, we can get on the stomach. There's so much we can do.
Love it.
So,
and that's so true. Like I'm trying to, okay, so how do you actually convince somebody that that's true? Because there's so many people that come and they have an injury and they're like, I can't do anything. Let me wait till this is healed before I do Pilates. You're like, you don't even have to stand right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. Well, at this point, it's kind of cool because I've reached a little bit of a tipping point, I think, with comfort. Like I've been working with WNBA players long enough that I think that there's a trust, and then the league is really intimate, really. So if they know I worked with this athlete through this injury, there's I think a built-in trust in the process and trust in me. And then we do a one-on-one online, and I can make it really challenging. And then I think that sells an athlete, right? They're like, holy crap, this is hard. I'm like, yes, it is. And it's good. And I always say that.
You didn't even touch me either, right?
Yeah, the better you get, the harder it gets. Like this is going to keep getting harder.
Mm-hmm.
And, that works with, like right now I've got a marathon runner who's incredible. And I'm going to see another NFL player tomorrow. So it's fun.
I was online with, I was just watching Team Canada play against Japan in the FIBA finals.
Yeah.
And Canada's team is just solid. Like Stephanie, she watched Team Canada's team. They are like, a lot of the players train with the same guys that my son's training with.
Yeah.
So like I could see the nuances of their game and just the way that he's working them. And man, I'm watching these girls play. I'm like, if I had time, I would be totally chasing down these teams to be doing supplies with them and just helping them to move even better.
Yes.
You can see the move, and there's mad skill, but there's such inefficient movement patterns.
Yeah. And, a lack of integration. And that's what's helped so much. And I watched that transform with Sue. Like when I first was with her, she's so strong, right? But things were like slightly separated, strong here, strong in the legs, strong in the shoulder. And what I think Pilates brings, which is so cool, is like the strength is integrated. So then the movement is more efficient. So there's more power. There's less effort. You're in the flow. You're not going to get injured. You know your center, because as an athlete, you're going to be constantly leaving your center to pivot, to move. But you know your center at a deeper level. So
exactly.
I know. So it's so cool. So I think it's just it's in the work. And then I've gotten more clear when I start working with people that I'm like, this will work, but you have to do it. You can't do this. You can't do Pilates once a week, twice a week. You've got to do these videos. I'm going to give, curate a little website for you with your videos, but you've got to do them every day and twice a day.
Yes.
And it works. This marathon runner I'm working with now, who's an Olympian, he's incredible, and has really not done any training other than running for a long time.
Yeah.
And he's just doing he does it. I made him a 2x4 video. He does it before every run, and it's changed everything. And then he's doing, I call him work stretch. I take it's like an intermediate mat, but almost every other exercise is like, we're going to figure 4. Okay. And then we're going to do some exteriors and then figure 4.
Yes.
We're going to do leg circles, then we're going to do extra stretches. So I call those work stretch. And he's doing those every night before bed, and suddenly doesn't feel so stiff and creaky,
Right. The guy that did all my like sport conditioning certs with before I got into Pilates, all the strength and conditioning coach stuff, he used to say runners would like they run, and he's like, that's not training. If you're a marathon runner and you're running for your running, that's not training. That's practice.
Yeah.
Come to me for training. You're running because you're a runner is practice.
Yes.
Yeah. But runners don't get it. They say, well, what's my training? Well, I did 5K today. I was like, no, that's practice. What do you do for your training?
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, what it takes is an injury, right? For a lot of people.
Right.
It's like, oh, now I'm injured and I can't do the thing I love, the thing I want to do for 15 more years competitively. It's the best when they come early. There's a professional ballerina I work with, and we've been working together a couple of years, and she came to me from a knee injury, really, but at 19, she asked the older ballerinas in the company and said, I want to be a professional ballerina for 30 years. And these women in their 40s who are still professional ballerinas told her this. They said, find a really well-trained Pilates instructor you trust.
Yep.
And don't stop, and start swimming.
Yes.
And and so that's what she did, and we've been working together ever since.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
Brooke in your life.
Yeah. So I just think like with something like running or any sport that you love so much that can be
there's so much room for potential, right?
What's that?
There's so much room for potential because like they're already athletic and they get movement, but they're really untapped in terms of what their body can achieve from a training perspective.
Yes. That's
Basketball
what's so cool about this. Right? This marathon runner is like, he is doing it. And the transformation where I'm on a routine, I see him every 2 weeks for a private, and we spend probably 90 minutes doing a full workout and then talking through it. Cause he also loves Chinese medicine. So we'll talk meridian systems, cool stuff. Like, for example, his ankles kept being sore here after running.
Yeah.
The tops. And I was like, yeah, that's not your ankles. That's because that channel comes all the way up from the front of your flexors. And it's because the flexors are short because this is hanging lordotic because your core is not working. So now we got his core on and picked up. So this is free. So the ankles don't hurt anymore. That's so cool.
Next level, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, and now you get to see my my workout attire, right? We talked about this last time.
Yeah, there you go.
This is how it goes. The cotton, we talked about this cotton, but see, this is the athlete in me that's like, oh, I just am always, we'll work out later, but always the big sweatpants first.
You got that, designer?
Brooke.
What's that?
I got to get you some Seed for Greatness pants.
Totally.
What size?
Yeah.
Well, I'm 6 feet tall.
A large, then. Okay.
Baggy.
I'm 6'2". Okay.
Sweatpants are meant to be baggy.
Yes, indeed. Yes, ma'am. Actually, extra large. You need extra large. Okay, cool. We'll hook it up.
Okay.
Yeah. I got to run, guys.
All right.
I just love listening to you, too, especially you, Brooke.
Oh, thanks. It's good to catch you. I've not been able to catch this in a little while, Martin.
Yeah, no, it's been good. Yeah. I'll send you the replay from last Monday, and then the follow-up part B with Stefan from, I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday last week.
Something like that. We got some good ones. Yeah.
Is your business going well?
Yeah, it's getting better. It is. It's getting better. Like your ballerina, I'm in it for the long haul, so I'm always trying to think about like how can grow this thing for the future. 10 years down the line, 8 years down the line. So yeah, but thank you for asking. It's getting better. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Looking good.
Hey man, thanks.
All right, man. Thank you for jumping on, Stefan.
You're welcome. Take care.
Wow, Brooke, we're like 57 already. Like I had really, man.
We talk all day.
Talk all day. Do you are you still mid-workout here? Are you done? Just getting ready for clients now, or where you're at?
Yeah, I have an 11 o'clock. One of my teachers I've been mentoring. I did the mentorship program. We did that for a year, and now we all everybody who did those, I've got 3 teachers who did that with me, like my full return mentorship program. And now we just carry on. We just have a session every week now, forever, really.
Right.
It's the best.
That's exactly it. And that's the part people don't get, right? Like, it's not like it's not finite. Like, you just keep going until you can't keep going.
Yeah. Until, if, you know, as long as it's useful for you, I'm here. Whether we're going to, you know, teach you a workout or talk about business or talk about your clients or, there's always something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So it's, I think it's important to have those threads out there where you feel like you can show up and you can be heard, and we all need that. Yeah.
We do. And thanks for jumping on, bro. Because I mean, you know, for everyone who's out here, like, who heard me at the beginning and I started venting about like campaigns and just the life-giving, you know, interactions I get in this space, like to be able to just talk, even if Stefan was in the room, to talk shop, like just to dive deep on movement and just like the science of training. I could do that all day, and it takes me out of everything else. Like, that really is a passion for me. So like, I just loved, that's good for me, you know?
Well, it sounds like it could be grounding too, with everything that you have going on that can like be coming at you.
Yeah.
And I think that I don't know, there probably is going to be some discernment between like, when it's coming at you, where do you like stand solid and push back? Or when do you do the like,
bob and weave?
It's not going to land over here.
Yep.
Yeah.
No doubt. Right, and that sense of competency too, right? These are things that we love to do. I can do that in my sleep, and I have to learn and dive deep and immerse myself to learn this new thing, right? So, that's good. All right, it's 59. You got a client, and we're out. Thank you so much, my love.
Okay, see ya.
Really appreciate it. Okay, talk to you soon, and thank you everybody, because we are out shortly. Before I jump off here, I just want to say hi, Bianca. Thanks, Sunny, Philip Griffin, Roxy. So good to see you guys, and yes, and Jennifer as well. Okay, party people, we are out. Back at it tomorrow. We have some great guests this week. See you later.